When do you play, and what do you expect when you get out there?
Well, we play this Saturday down in Cameron University in Lawton, Oklahoma, and it's never too early for baseball. You just hope the weather cooperates with you. I mean, there are quite a few teams around the country that have already played a game. Cameron will have already played 8 games by the time we go down there to play our first.
When you talk about weather, you're talking about as long as it doesn't rain or snow, you're in pretty good shape, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We've played in, wind chills of probably around 30, 32 degrees. Now, we try to avoid that as much as possible, and that's only happened a couple of times in all my time spent coaching. But, I mean, if it's dry and the field's playable, we're probably going to play.
And I know you spend a lot of time outdoors this time of year anyway, or at least as much as you can. Have you gotten a handle on this team, and any idea about, for instance, who the starting pitcher is going to be when you start Saturday?
Yeah, I tell you, we've been very fortunate the last couple of weeks. The weather's been great. We've been outside practicing, which really, I mean, gosh, I can't evaluate my team on, their smile and haircut. So it's very good to be able to get outside and play and scrimmage one another, because that's the best way for me to gauge who needs to be on that field. And so it's been great to have that. It's really helped me kind of get an understanding of who's going to be that starting team on Saturday. And as far as the pitching goes, we've already announced our pitching rotation. And so we'll play a doubleheader on Saturday. It'll be 2 7s and then a single 9 on Sunday. And game number 1 will be David Collins. Game number 2 starter will be Drew Matrician, and game 3 will be Cody Downing.
I know you had such a good feel for your pitching staff last year and got some good innings. That your strength this year as you head into a brand new year?
Well, I certainly hope it's our strength. It's our most experienced position, and I think we have a deep bullpen. So we are essentially returning every pitcher that we have, and hopefully they're a year stronger, wiser, better, more mature physically and mentally, and hopefully that adds up to the strength of our ball club.
How about defensively? How are you around the 8 other positions?
Well, I think that we have a good defensive team, but we're just going to be young. We are probably at any one time going to have 4 or 5 freshmen out on the field and probably 2 or 3 sophomores on the field. We're only going to have a senior or 2, here or there. So the bulk of our team is very young and predominantly freshmen.
I know starting at catcher, you were looking at freshmen here through the winter. Can you tell me if that position has solidified at all?
No, it's going to come up. It's going to come down right to the wire here. I need the rest of the week to continue to evaluate, but they've all done a good job. They're all working hard. They're all trying to, learn our systems, and I think they understand that they have big shoes to fill. We've always had good catchers in our program, and so they're working at trying to figure that all out. So, I think all of them will play a role throughout the season, but hopefully one of them will step up and, be the guy that plays the majority of the time.
Mike, around the infield, key returners?
Well, a key returner would be Clark O'Dowd at first base and Tom Herrera. Don't know where Tom's going to be exactly. He'll probably split a little time between outfield and catching. Well, and don't forget about Brian Rezin. He is a returner for us, but he's not an upperclassman. He's just a sophomore. And, Brian is really a good player. I think he's got a special chance. He's got a chance to be a special player for us. And he does all the little things right. He's a good leader. He's strong. He's physically and mentally tough. And I expect, even though he's a sophomore, I expect big things out of him. And we have a couple of other guys that have played minimal for us and had some part-time roles. But as far as returners, it's just 2.
How about in the outfield? You mentioned Herrera could play there, but who else might we see?
Well, Sam Moorman had a nice fall for us, and he's fighting hard to get a spot in the outfield. Sam Thomas is an upperclassman that's worked really hard, and he'll have his opportunity. Jordan Rice is a freshman who we've had in center field, and the kid's really fast. He's got some ability, and so he'll get some opportunity. Taylor Williams is a senior that we have had on the infield last year. And then, unfortunately, he hurt his thumb over the summer and had to have surgery on it and was really out for all of the fall and really hasn't been able to do anything until, this spring. And then obviously with the weather, you're limited to scrimmaging and being outside, so he hasn't had much of an opportunity to show us. But like I mentioned earlier, the last 2 weeks have been nice, and so Taylor's been able to go out there and scrimmage and show us what he has. And instinctively, he is probably our best outfielder. But he's got a way to go with the stick, and he's continuing to work on that. But, so I see I've got some decisions that I've got to make, but we have some choices, and I'm sure everybody's going to get an opportunity at some point in time, and hopefully someone will grab it and keep it.
Spin move, but not in time.
Sure looked like he got him on the shoulder, but didn't get the call.
And now here comes Mike Stockton.
Yep.
And when Mike is running out, you know that he's got something he wants to say.
Yep.
You open up this weekend on the road, but you're home next weekend. Sioux Falls comes in for, I believe it's Saturday and Sunday games. Is that an early opening date for you at home?
We've opened that early one other time, but it's really only about 7 days earlier than we've ever opened. So typically the second weekend in March is when we like to try to have a home game. So the long-range forecast looks decent at this point. So,
well, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you very much. Excited to get out there. I know our guys are ready to play. Heck, we've been practicing since September. So, they're tired of me and they're ready to get out there, and I'm excited for them to get out there and, get to have some fun.